good and blessed morning to you, my dear brothers and sisters in Christ. In the Gospel of today, we witness the continuation of the discourse of Jesus at the Last Supper, according to John. And it is after he has washed the feet of his disciples. And at the end, actually, among many points that are outstanding, I would like to dwell on the closing statement of Jesus in the Gospel of today. He says, "Truly, truly, I say to you, he who receives anyone whom I send receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me." One of the things which is eminent in the life of Jesus and the way he speaks, the things that really means a lot to him, is that what he is doing and what he is saying is what he sees and hears the Father doing and saying. This points to the unity which is there between Jesus and the Father. And actually, in the Gospel of yesterday, he said quite a number of things. He who believes in me believes not in me, but in him who sent me. And he who sees me sees him who sent me. There is this very, very close unity. When you continue with the Gospel of John, when he is praying for unity among his followers, that unity begins with him. He says, "As we are one, Father, let them be one. As we are united, let them be united." But in the Gospel of today, there is something which he adds to that when he says, "Those who welcome me do not actually welcome me, but welcome the one who sent me." So in a way, when we welcome Jesus, we welcome the Father, because he and the Father are one. The challenge is here. It's easy when Jesus comes in person. We all, or most of us, love Jesus. We want to have a relationship with him, or we have a relationship with him. We have given our lives to him, or want to give our lives to him. But since the ascension, Jesus is no longer physically with us, as I am before you in this video. He uses different people. He uses different situations. And the challenge is, he always comes to us through those he has sent. And when he arrives, do we welcome him? When he arrives, do we receive him? Because if he comes in another state, it calls us to go beyond what we see. It calls us to go beyond what we hear. And he has put it clearly, especially in the Gospel of Matthew, talking about the last judgment, when the shepherd will separate, when the Son of Man will separate them, like the shepherd who separates sheep from goats. And we hear that he will say, "I was hungry and you didn't give me anything to eat. I was thirsty, you didn't give me anything to drink. I was in need, you never came to my aid. Then they will ask, where? He says, if you didn't do it to them, you didn't do it to me. As it were, he lives in each and every one of us, especially those who suffer, especially those who are in need. And this really comes as a very, very big challenge to me, because I strongly believe that as a priest, the people who are walking down the street, and when they see me outside, and a lot of people think that I have money, come begging, please, can you help me? And at the same time, the challenge is because there are those who are genuinely in need, and there are those who are taking advantage. To make that distinction and be able to go beyond and welcome Jesus and receive Jesus and be able to help him in that need. I think that, dear brothers and sisters, really needs a spiritual eye. When we do not only depend on the eye, the physical eyes, the eyes of the flesh, but when we go beyond to see with the spiritual eye, when we go beyond what we see with the physical eye, to be able to see the Jesus who sends, or the Jesus who comes through those people, and to be able to receive him, to be able to welcome him. My prayer today is that I may grow in my relationship with Jesus, that I may know Jesus very well, so that whatever state he comes to me, I'll be able to recognize him, and I'll be able to receive him. Because when I receive those he sends, when I receive those who come in his name, not even in his name, but who come in need, I receive him, and I receive the Father, because he and the Father are one. How welcoming are we? Not only at home, even at church. You see, there are times we as Catholics, we have the habit of, you see, I sit in one place, this is my place, and everyone knows so and so. No wonder it's easy for me to see who is missing at Mass, because I know where people sit. Then the day when I come and I find someone is sitting where I sit, I have heard people saying, there was the whole bench, there were many other free places, and she came and said to me, move. And he came and said to me, push that way. How welcoming is that? And especially to a stranger, especially to someone who is coming to the church maybe after a long time or for the first time. I think this is a very, very big challenge, dear brothers and sisters, that we have to learn to go out of ourselves. We have to learn to forget ourselves and think of other people, and be able to put other people first. Then in the process of doing that, you realize that many are the times we will receive Jesus. Many are the times we will welcome Jesus. If we fail to do that, many are the times we will close our doors to Jesus when he wants to come and be with us. Many are the times when we will refuse to welcome him. And how sad. Truly, truly, I say to you, He who receives anyone whom I send receives me, and he who receives me receives him who sent me. Amen.